Let's go with 2 persuasion checks
5
and
point
an insight.
challenge, y'all! Okay, anyways. Multi-line, and I didn't hear all of it. A persuasion.
2 persuasions, an insight, and what do you want to do for the other 2? I'm giving you a 5-point challenge. I haven't used one in a while.
No, you haven't. And...
What?
perception and another persuasion?
Sure. While you're rolling that, I have to run to the bathroom quickly. I'll be right back.
Hey, alright! Everything is above 10! Whoop whoop! That's good news for me. Also, to those on TikTok, hello! If we do not talk, my apologies, we are in the middle of a game. Do 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 do. How is everybody going today? And yes, I'm as awkward as Lyra. I really am. How does one get started with D&D? It seems so fun, but I have no idea how no one to play with. Well, I would
That's
suggest
the hard part.
finding people is usually the hard part. There is a D&D Discord that I would suggest looking into. There is also, excuse me, I would say look at the player's handbook to understand some of it first. Also, look into Daggerheart, possibly. It's not quite the same as D&D, but it looks like it's fun. We'll be trying to start that up soon once we have confirmation from a couple more people, probably at least 2 more people.
And if
But
you can't find anybody in person, there's always online.
always online. If you're looking for in person, go to game shops, places that sell stuff like board games and card games and things like that. There tends to be people that like to play in those places. Also know which D&D edition you want to try, because there's everything from 3.5, which is what we used to play, 5th edition 2014, 5th edition 2024. There's Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which is much older and has a whole different system unto itself.
There's 4th edition.
There's 4th edition. There's Pathfinder 1st edition and 2nd edition. And like I said, there's also Daggerheart, which is another tabletop role-playing game. There's Call of Cthulhu. There's Legends of Avatar. There's a number of different tabletop games. So I would say definitely look into the different types of games that you can find and find one that might work for you. It also depends on if you want to roll dice a lot more or do more thematic role-playing and talking about what you're going to do. But I would always say start with the player's handbook or the main book in any type of tabletop game. Get to know the game and see if it's the game for you. And then go try and find a group. And if you don't find a group that works for you, continue to look for another group. Because until you find a group that fits for you, it takes a bit to get to know what you like and how to play. There's different DMs and different styles. That's perfectly fine if you don't look like the type to play D&D. Neil didn't look the type to play D&D when I first met him. He looked like he was a freaking... How do I explain this? Gothic bodyguard bouncer guy. He looked terrifying. And I don't know he's a nerd. Like me. Dash, being a U-Haul person, also does not look like the type to play D&D. And yet here he is. Oops.
I guess that's fair.
You work at U-Haul and you look like you're a bodybuilder. You do not look like you would sit down and play a nerdy game. You really don't.
I mean, I guess that is fair. Yeah, everyone at work knows I play.
I get the concept and stuff. It's just finding people that's hard. Yes. Go to a game shop or look online.
You'll probably have more success online.
Probably
Yes.
not because I only know you as Womp Womp. Online can be more successful, yeah.
Because there are people that do campaigns like ours, and there are also people that do the Western March.
Yeah, the Western
Type.
March stuff. There's also ones that
There's a couple different styles of play that you can do.
Yeah, somebody's asking how do you get into D&D?
Grab a couple of friends. Grab the free rules that you can find, because you can play with just the SRD rules, which are free. Grab a couple of friends. Figure out who wants to be the DM. Alternate it every week if you want to see who likes it the most, and just come up with an idea. You can get decent adventures for free, and you just read through them, get some ideas, and start it up. Hell, you don't even need to do D&D. You can just go, all right, you are playing this character, this person is playing that character, and just talk it out.
Yep, I suggested also looking into Daggerheart or Legends of Avatar.
Daggerheart is very narrative focused, and it looks really fun. We're going to be playtesting it eventually. We just need to get some shit together for that. Perhaps that would be a good one to try too.
It looks fun.
I agree. I'm very jealous. My roommate is cooking a steak that's 1.5 inches thick.
Oh, Riley.
And I know it's only for him because
told you.
because the other roommate doesn't eat beef.
Oh,
she's vegetarian.
I think vegetarian would be the most accurate way of putting it. She still eats eggs.
I was gonna say because she's not quite vegan.
She's not lactose intolerant. She's lactose no. Like she can't have dairy. She does occasionally with certain things like ice cream cake and things like that. But yeah, it usually has bad repercussions for Riley.
Technically, she can have dairy. She's not supposed to have dairy.
She can, but she shouldn't. It's like Rosie having too many energy drinks. No, she shouldn't.
No, she really shouldn't.
But for real, ever since I started watching your lives, you've got me wanting to get into D&D. If I had room in my group, I would invite you into my group. But I already have 5 players.
All right, so
we have already banned her for trying to add more.
Yes. She keeps trying. Every time I turn around and start a game, she'll turn around and be like, "Hey, so and so wants to try." I'll be like, "I already have 15 players," and she'll be like, "We can add 3 more." If you didn't hear the noise I just made, it was the noise of an eye twitching.
I did at one point 11 players. It was on stream. It was absolute hell. And I
did have 9 players in a game once. It was ridiculous. 9 players. Half of the table is bored out of their mind.
Yeah.
Why do you think half of us play D&D? We're all socially awkward in some form.
Guess what? The thing about being socially awkward in D&D is you get to play someone that's not you, and that character isn't socially awkward.
You can either play someone similar to you, to a degree, and not that you're comfortable with it, which is usually my first character in any system. Or you can play somebody who's completely different.
Tasha likes to play herself, but angry.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Elenia
or
was...
herself with a big dog.
Yep.
But short.
Yep.
Elenia was me in every way, shape, and form. Just a little bit more.
Yeah, it was basically you as a D&D character, more or less. Yeah, I agree.
It really was.
A little exaggerated, but still.
A little bit. Lyra
all right, so I am back. We might as well continue. Yeah. So, Lyra, your rolls look decent. That looks like a not perfect success, but a damn good one.
They're all above 10, bitch. They're all above 10.
It's a 10, but it's not a good number higher than that. Is what I'm saying. It wasn't like you got a whole bunch of critical successes. That was a really good roll. You just succeeded with a bonus. Oh, my dice!
Woo,
Oh!
thank you.
That was a
Thank
very
you,
strange
Shadow,
pain.
for all the gifts. We appreciate it.
So, Rose, you
No.
succeeded admirably. You accomplished what you were going for, plus something in a bonus. So, what was it you were aiming at right now? You're trying to ask him on a date?
Yes.
You're sitting there like, hey, how about you and me at the insert place here? You know, that restaurant you went to earlier?
Or
Like-
just insert.
Or you, me, my hotel room now. Which one?
Food first. Always food first, and then dessert.
Well, you know, with a roll like that, what if your dessert?
That was what I was getting at. Food first, and then dessert. Oh, so this will be the first time she has somebody think of her as dessert.
Well,
Think
let's
of
see
it.
if he's interested in the dessert thing, Rose.
Oh boy.
Let's find out how he is. All right, so I'm going to try something completely different, and I'm going to roll Daggerheart the
Okay.
dice, the duality dice, and I'm
Okay.
going to go with if we roll with hope, it will be a success for you, and if we roll with fear, it will not. For anyone
Okay.
who's wondering, in Daggerheart, you roll duality dice is 2d12. One of them is your hope dice, and one of them is your fear dice. And so, boom, 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 and
Whichever rolls
dun, dun,
higher is the one that you roll with
dun.
hope or fear. So if you have your
I'll
fear
tell you
dice
the
and it rolls higher.
And I'll tell you the result later.
Oh, gee, thanks.
So,
Yes.
you and Cole are going off to go eat. Are you going to say
Yay.
goodbye to Roswin?
She'll turn and look to Rosa and go, bye! Do not get in trouble while I'm away. I do not need to go save your butt.
Oh,
Again.
wasn't one of us supposed to show a picture of Cole right now in this scene, or did we never get a good picture for that?
Where is... I have a couple pictures of him. Hold on. Let me go find one.
You can find the picture and show it, and I will move on to Quar for the moment. Quar, you and your halfling companion have been sitting down at this restaurant for a little while. You made your order already. They are cooking it up right now. It's always cooked fresh, fresh sliced right in front of you. This quillfish is about the size of a watermelon.
That's a big ass fish.
That's deflated. The spikes on
Shit.
this thing could be used for
Many daggers.
knitting. They could be used for knitting or for daggers, right?
Yep.
You could stab someone with one of these and it would hurt a lot because they're filled with poison.
Yeah.
So you see the vendor he takes this thing and with like deft hands, he's moving like lightning, he's just moving around. He plucks all the quills, he puts them in a pile, they put them in a container, and they seem to have a purpose after that, but they disappear eventually and you don't know where they went. The food, or like the fugu itself that he's slicing, though, he slices a bunch of pieces off and discards them. Like, well, when I say discard, I mean barely touches them, throws them into a bin that is avoided by anyone else. Slices a whole bunch of pieces off, cuts off a piece, the size of a normal little bit of salmon, a little salmon fillet.
Yeah.
Just a little tiny one serving bit of fish. About the size for you, and a slightly smaller one for the halfling. Size matters in this case.
Okay. Yep.
He does that whole it's like very sushi style, very Japanese themed preparation and everything. Gets that done, puts it on the plate. Puts a bunch of garnishes around it, a couple different little sauces on it, like something like wasabi sauce, a bit of fermented ginger, some other things, a little soy sauce or whatever you would want to have with that sort of thing. Basically, and a nice little bowl of rice. Also, there's a bowl of soup. roughly the equivalent of like a miso soup or something.
All right.
Uh, Hands it or slides them over to the two of you and smiles as at both of you nods, like a bow nod.
Or will kind of give a little nod himself, and
Give it a
he
sniff.
will give it a sniff, and then he'll.
It smells very fragrant, very aromatic. And by the way, you did notice he did not cook it in any way.
All right. He will give the fugu sushi a try down the hatch.
You just popping the whole thing down? All right. I
Over the teeth
will
and do the
get
gums.
you. I will have you do a Constitution save, but you do have advantage.
All right.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
Hydrate, you bastards.
Oh,
Perfect. That is good enough. Your 12 is enough to make it so your stomach doesn't go. Ah!
that's good.
You do feel it hit the sides of your mouth as you're chomping it down, and those areas go like noticeably numb as you're swallowing it. The back of your throat, you're like, wait, I can't feel it. Where'd my tongue go? Gets to your stomach, and you feel your stomach, and you feel that warm numbness, and then nothing from that. And it's just like, wow, that was interesting. It tasted quite unique, like very, very fishy, obviously, but
Mhm.
just that spiciness about it. Like not spicy like it's hot sauce, but it's the only way you could describe it is spicy.
He goes, "Careful, dude. It's a little spicy."
Your halfling companion is a little more cautious and only takes a small bite of it rather than the whole thing. His lips go numb instantly. You can see them turn a slight tint of blue. If you had lips, yours would have been too.
Oof.
They just go a little bit bluish, which is often a thing that happens with fugu, from what I've understood from my research, because I've been interested in it for quite some time. And he's like, "Oh wow, that was spectacular!" And then he finishes the rest of it slowly, not all at once. He goes about, finishes the other things, actually orders a bowl of noodles afterwards, mixes in his other bits into the noodles to finish it all off, and continues on. It's like nom, 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 licking his fingers. Nom, 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 nom. Oh,
Yummy,
damn it!
yummy.
My finger went numb.
Clar will finish his meal off too, and he will risk it for the biscuit and order some more quillfish.
You're going for another one? Would you like to try it in a different style? They do have other versions of it. Like they have a cooked version, which would be like, just think of it as like normal fish cooked up or like fried up, seasoning, a couple other things. You go to order some more. The vendor looks at you, looks at the halfling. The halfling's like, no, I'm good. He looks back at you, nods, kind of gives you that little bow. He was still finishing off like what was left of the quillfish that he had been cutting up. So it's like da 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 da. He's got all the bits and bobs. He takes a piece and he fries it up for you and brings it back in a bowl of noodles with some other seasoning. There is what looks like an egg in there. You're not sure what kind of egg. It doesn't quite look normal to you, but it tastes good when you eventually are going to taste it. Wahaha.
He'll definitely taste it, and well, the guy's probably thinking in D&D equivalent of Japanese fucking turtles off as a goddamn rocker.
Oh my gosh.
Oh well, I will let you do a. You have nature. If you have nature, you can roll a nature check to see if you can identify that egg.
I mean, we technically have it doesn't mean we're for.
Is the
For
bot not
fishing,
working? Ah, shit, where'd my dice go?
15.
15. Yeah,
They
that's
ran
good.
away with
All
the
right.
circus.
No, it just rolled off my desk. So you think that the egg is more of an egg sac. It's kind of out of your normal wheelhouse to figure out what it was, but judging by the fish that he was cutting up, you think it might actually be an egg sac for this fish.
Oh, so
Caviar.
shellfish caviar.
A much bigger caviar, but yes.
Mhm.
And it was
Um,
really tasty. It had a nice creaminess to it. It was like, oh, ooh.
I probably need
Nothing,
another.
nothing poisonous about it.
Okay. But for the meat itself, I probably need another con save.
Yes. This time, you do. Also. No, you get advantage still, though.
Alright. 15.
15. Perfect. That one went down well. You were like, oh, ooh. With a little bit of seasoning, it was even better than when it was just raw. Or that's what a normal person would say.
Yep.
You're like, I like it raw and wriggly.
Yes. Quar is literally a fucking iron stomach on legs.
Pretty much.
Well,
Given everything he's eating, yes, he is.
well, I'm kind of thinking, well, with most turtles, they can eat
They can eat
anything.
almost anything, yeah. They're pretty
I
much iron
mean,
stomach. That's why I'm giving you advantage mostly.
sea turtles eat fucking plastic bags for crying out loud.
They also eat jellyfish and stuff that are poisonous.
Yep.
So yeah, you enjoyed your meal. That was very good. You're actually quite full now. The vendor gives you a strange little snack type thing afterwards. Yeah, it would be kind of like the weird equivalent to a fortune cookie,
All right,
which is
he'll definitely
strangely not Japanese, but it's like it gives you a rough equivalent of a fortune cookie.
he'll take it and crack it open and
Before you pop it open or like crack it open, he stops you and explains that traditionally one would make a sort of a wish off on it, and then
he
he like encourages you to do that.
he'll before he cracks it open. Yeah, he'll make a wish. All right, his
Wish
wish is to find
cookie!
his his wish is to find those king pirates. Damn pirates.
You're like, all right, I will find the red tide. I wish to find the red tide. Crack, crack,
Yes.
crack. And you see a little sparkle, almost magical, come off of it. And much like a fortune cookie, it has a little piece of paper in it with some stupid little words of encouragement that I'm not going to generate because I don't want to be that generic.
No worries.
But you get the
Your
idea. It's
days
just
shall
like
get brighter if you only put effort into it.
the path you seek will open up to you shortly.
He'll nod and
The
store
halfling's
that
wish
away
is
for
something
later.
more along the lines of, I hope to have a good sleep tonight. Crack!
Yep.
Sparkle, sparkle,
And-
sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. And he falls
And,
over.
Quar goes, well, shit.
Blah, blah,
And
blah, 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 blah.
Quar will pay for both their, or will pay for both the meals. Tip the server.
The vendor,
He'll kind of he'll carry Oscar back to the inn.
All right. You get back to the inn. I'm going to. I assume you ask the clerk, "Hey, is this guy staying here?"
Yeah, he'll ask. Excuse me, what room's this guy in?
Oh, that would be Oscar. Insert last name here. Yes, he's staying here. He's in room B12 or something like that.
All right, he'll get the key off of Oscar because
He's got it in his pocket. Yep.
yeah. And then he'll pop the hobbit. Pop the
Pop the
halfling to bed.
Hobbit.
You take him up to his room. You put him in his bed. He's like, ah, thank you, mommy.
Then Quar will go find his teammates.
All right. Last time you saw them, they were back at the spa. They probably have left there by now, you assume. You
Yep.
kind of got the feeling Lyra was trying to take somebody home.
Yeah, he had a feeling she was trying to get laid.
Which he has ample experience seeing because Elena did it all the time.
Yeah,
Well, you didn't
that's
even need to
why-
roll. You didn't even need to roll an insight. You were like, "Hey, look, it's Elenia with dark skin."
Yep.
Except this is the first guy that he has seen her take anywhere.
Exactly.
He's like, it's Elenia 2.0.
No. Elena
She's a
2.0
little
would have
more
had, like,
selective.
she's a selective Elena. Elena would have had the 12 guys along the way. Lyra has not.
All right. While they're doing this, Roswin, what are you doing?
So after slipping away and hearing what Lyra had to say, Roswin is actually because I was present for the last game for this, correct?
Your character was present, but was just kind of back in the background.
Okay. So since I don't know exactly where we are, I don't know exactly what Roswin can do.
Well, you have the letter that you can
No, that's
deal with
true.
later. You have Rose believes that the next thing you guys need to do is go down into the mines because, for one, that's where she has information that there's a cure for her mom. There's also some sort of vault down there, which is where the cure is. But she also believes that you guys have to clear out something in the mines that is causing that red fog, or at least something in that red fog. As a out of character note.
Okay.
She determined that last game, basically.
Yes.
Well, I kind of want to investigate that vault. Is there any like libraries that Roswin can go to like look into like any type of histories or stuff like
There
that?
is there's actually the level of the city you're on is all universities. Basically, all the Drow noble houses that used to be here have been converted into different universities for different subjects. So you can find one that's completely dedicated to the history of Avernus or something if you really looked.
Oh yeah, Roswin absolutely go look because he's gonna want to know about this before they go anywhere. Better
All
safe than
right.
sorry.
Well, I can simplify that in some quick terms for you. All right. So without having to do too much digging, like roll wise, you find a
Bless you.
you find a sage that knows the information or that has the information you need fairly simply, asking around, putting a few coins in people's hands, that sort of
Question?
thing, right?
Okay.
What kind of question?
Does he get to meet the guy that me and Clara got to meet? Because Rosamund wasn't there during that.
Which guy?
The one that kicked us out of the university?
Maybe. That is a university. So
You guys got kicked out.
We got kicked out hardcore. That university, the head of that university does not like my patron.
I mean, who
It's true.
doesn't? But still.
It is very true. There's a bit of issues with that one.
Yeah, he
Okay,
doesn't
well,
like me.
either way, he's
I
a
don't
thief.
know where his picture is.
Oh god. Let me see if I can find it.
If you can find it, I will use him. The leader of that university is in the list. I thought, well, maybe Dash
really-
wasn't here for that session.
I don't
That was
think
a
I
while
was.
back. That was a while back that you guys met him.
Mm-hmm.
Scrolling.
That's the book.
Scroll.
I found the book. I found. Nope, that's my patron.
Wouldn't it be in the chat log?
I'm looking in the campaign chat. No, I'm all the way up to birds. Okay. Then I guess I'm going the other way.
Oh, wrong person. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. The fuck? Nope, that wasn't the page I wanted. Way too old. Oh my, even yeah. Da-da-da. Well, there's a drow elf that you would find absolutely cute, but it's not who we're looking for.
Rose is like, I don't care. I want to see.
It was around the
Maybe
time where
later.
I was showing her pictures of Pan. The Pan that's in my game, at least. All right, let's see this page. I'm just like randomly picking pages in the list and going, maybe they're around here. No, not that old. Not that old at all. That was when you were fighting the Emperor. Let's go with this page. Sure.
I think it was just before Roswin and Amara joined us.
No, not a page 132, you silly bastards. Hey, there's a picture of Lyra. There is some random dudes.
God damn it, there.
Right? Lyra and random dudes.
None of it she's hit on until now.
Why do I have so many flowers? Why is there so many flowers in this chat? Whatever. I can't
Oh,
fucking
one
find them.
moment.
Yep. I really wish I learned to label all of my fucking pictures. Organization would be a wonderful thing to have, but I don't have it. Maybe if I searched by date. No,
Fate
not
might
that.
help.
Bum, bum, bum.
No, I'm just scrolling through the dice channel.
All right, and I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Side
Do
quest.
you remember roughly how long ago that was, Rose?
Don't, unfortunately. I think it was before Roswin and Amara joined us, though.
I think we already figured that part out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was before that. All right,
That's what was
so
best of the timeline as I got.
because I have a picture of Roswin that you shared on the third month, March 28th, and there's a picture of Quar with it. So I'm
That's
thinking around
probably
that
true.
time frame. So it was probably around March that we started with the other two in the group, wasn't it?
Yes, it looks
I
like
think
it.
so. There's Hey Hey. Not who we're looking for. There's a picture of Lyra. Which seems like it would be around the right time frame. But then it's like, now fuck you. Oh, wait, do I have him on a... Did I make him a scabbard page?
I would say he should have a scabbard page. I'm pretty sure I saw it.
I just gotta remember his name.
That I might be able to help
Or his
with.
role. Headmaster. Xylarthos Umbre. Yes, I do
Yes.
have a scabbard page for him.
Hey, alright.
Which means I can show his picture in the chat now. This is him. He has a intellect devourer or two that travel around with him when he's in the university. And he is the guy that you end up going to.
Oh,
He seems to be the best in the know. You weren't with Lyra when she was here last, though, so it's not a problem. He doesn't know you,
perfect. We're gonna keep it that way.
Aggressive scrolling,
but
yes.
he is the one that people recommend for historical aspects from the city and stuff like that. He knows a lot about what happened underneath the city.
Because we had actually
Even
gone to him
better.
previously to try and find that information, and he was not forthcoming because he found out who my patron was.
And you didn't even tell him.
No, I tried to make a deal with him, and he's like, "Oh, you're one of his." I'm like, "What? do you mean? Out?" I'm like, "Out." I'm like, "Oh shit." Yeah, that was
You're one of his. Get the fuck out of my place.
that was literally the case of it.
No, I'm not
All right.
surprised.
So
Well-
you've made your way to the university. You've been introduced to this gentleman, who is, by the way, introduced as the headmaster of the university, though he also does sagely duties. In your mind, his he doesn't talk physically. He only talks telepathically.
All right.
So as you're talking to him, you get used to that. It's a little weird for the first moment or two. What would you like to ask him first? He's down to talk. He's not extremely flourishing with words. Like, he doesn't talk on it for hours on end like Rosie does.
Fair enough. So Rosman goes in and goes, "Hello there. I am looking for some information. I was wondering if you can help out."
Well, I'd be welcome to help. What kind of information? As he obviously tweaks something in your brain and gets some answers for himself, though he waits for you to put out those thoughts before obviously reading them.
I'm looking for some information from some underground areas, specifically vaults.
Ah, a adventurer interested in the old vaults underneath. Well, lore that we have tells us that many of them are from an age long past, when elves alone ruled the world.
And are the vaults perhaps magically sealed or trapped?
Many of them are heavily sealed, and almost all of them are trapped to a deadly fashion. However, some have been opened, and some are in use by other factions, having found keys to them.
There's keys.
Oh, you got his interest real fast.
He explains to you like these keystone items that they have found evidence of existing, but he's never been able to get a hold of one himself. He does know of someone who might have come in contact with them. However, that individual is currently keeping himself low and away from the headmaster.
Gee, I wonder who that is.
Only one can tell. But with that information, Rosman goes, "All right, and what will you consider to be an easy way to bypass those vaults traps or get those doors open?"
Your best bet would be to find a key, but as I said, they are extremely hard to come by. Your next best bet would be a master locksmith of some sort, and probably somebody can either set off the traps for you. Sacrificial pigs are wonderful, or somebody who can disable them. I do warn you, if you're going down directly underneath the city right now, the fog has been known to be more of a threat than the vaults themselves.
What do you mean?
Well, the fog seems to be caused by some mixture of chemicals in the under lanes. It's a section underneath the city that's basically lava flows. So
Mm.
like lava rivers and whatnot, when they hit certain materials, they turn into a almost sentient style fog. It seems to have intelligence, but at the same time it doesn't.
So it's almost like magical sulfuric clouds.
Yeah, that kind of hunts you down.
Ugh.
There's also other creatures that have become adapted to living in this material. Well, we think that the fog itself might be caused by interactions with the ethereal crystals that are known to be down in the old mines. However, they were abandoned many moons ago due to, well, I guess you wouldn't use moons, you're underground. Many cycles ago, due to the red mist or the red fog or the fire fog or whatever they're calling it this week.
Fire
Let's
fog.
see. All right.
Oh,
well,
he said all of those: red
Okay.
mist, red fog, fire fog.
and it's just a mist that kind of hunts it. I'm guessing this mist isn't tangible to attack physically, is it?
Correct.
So it needs something magical to either
I can't
blow
remember.
it
Did your
away.
character buy
Got
one
it.
of the masks previously?
No.
No.
We all had a mask, though it was kind of a shitty mask. I think
Basically,
I
at
was
one
the
point,
only
you
one that
guys were
got
in the
the
lower
green
section,
one.
and I offered you masks from a vendor. They were just like little, like we had for COVID, right? But
Yep.
that sort of
Yeah.
thing. There are vendors that sell better ones. There are vendors that sell really nice ones.
And
And
Well, that
Finnegan
was
then
gonna
gave
be.
me his.
I about to say that was gonna be Rossman's next question, which is since he can't attack it physically, is there any way he can protect himself from it?
those masks are your best bet for simple stuff. Though it will still irritate your skin and stuff, things like that, right?
Where can I get one of these masks?
I have a basic one you could have. I don't go down there very often, and he hands you like basically, like I said, just a medical mask almost. It seals around your ears, your nose, and your mouth. It comes just kind of up to your eyes, though your eyes aren't covered.
Rosman takes it reluctantly, but takes it nonetheless.
You're
Looks
not
at
sure
it.
how he would have even wore it because tentacles.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he's like, thank
Eh.
you. As he just kind of looks at it and goes,
At least you know
I'll
what they
make
look
some
like.
use of it.
However, you can also find vendors that sell them all over. Though I don't. You're more likely to find vendors in the lower levels.
Oh yeah, more likely.
If the fog was to come up to the level he's on, oh, people would flip.
Without question. But Rosman will take the mask, looks and goes, I wonder if I can get a better one. As he just kind of like puts it into his pouch and leaves.
All right, you got some information. Your head out. All right. Anywhere going to go anywhere exciting? You think
Probably
Lyra would
back-
probably have gone back to the hotel by now, like her room? You each got your individual rooms.
Yeah, I was just about to say, probably back to the hotel so he can read his note.
All right.
And figure
So
out what to
you
go
have
from there.
headed back there. Quar has headed back there, I believe.
Yep.
And Lyra is in a room.
Of course she is.
Oh, it's in a room, not her room.
In a room.
I wonder. Do they have one of these? They do actually. I know what Ross I'm gonna end up getting.
What day?
I was looking out one if they had stink bombs. 1 second.
Oh yes. Here comes the hot peppers.
So yes, Lyra is in a room. I'm guessing she's doing dessert.
She's doing whatever you want her to do, however you want her to do it, within the boundaries of a nice, decent, healthy relationship. Yeah, sure, right. We'll go with that.
Healthy. Attempts at healthy. She's trying.
She's trying to eat healthy right now. She's got a foot long in her mouth.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's about accurate.
Lyra has a good night.
Yay! She had a good night. She's
There's
welcome
way
back to
more-
her
th-
room if she's with
There was
Cole.
there was way more like sitting around and talking about things than she ever expected, but it wasn't bad.
A lot of talking. She gets to know Cole, and she didn't buy him a gift because Lyra doesn't buy gifts.
No, that would be considerate of people, and that would mean you're thinking nicely.
She'll get there eventually. Unlike Eleni, who spends a gift every time she sees a boy, it's a little more special with her.
Ooh, I just met this guy. I want to take him home. I'm going to buy him a gift.
I spent so much of Elenia's gold on just gift
You
buying.
only buy
Sorry,
gifts
I'm
for
back.
people you're trying to sleep with. All right, so the night goes
all
by.
of
It's the
them.
next day. Everyone wakes up. Breakfast is being served downstairs. They have their own little mini restaurant type thing, but they have the continental breakfast, one might call it.
All right.
You go down there, they have pretty much anything you want for breakfast. If they don't have it, they can get someone to make it.
Very fancy.
Oh,
We're doing
this
exotic
place is one
shit.
of the higher end inns.
That explains so much.
Exotic drow food out of Lyra.
This is the kind of place where you look at the clerk and say, "Hey, I need this, this, and this," and two of those objects are not legal, and they still get them for you.
Even better. Even better.
All right, so yeah, breakfast is served. You guys can go about eating some of it, and if you need to talk amongst yourselves and figure out what you want to do next, go for it.
We're
Alright.
going down there to go get her medicine.